Hi, I'm Dr. Dumas.
Hey, I'm Jack.
Nice to meet you, Jack. Today we're going to be doing a general scan of your spine from the base of your head down just below your belt line. If I need to expose any areas, is that going to be okay with you?
Sure.
Alright, let me check the table here. Alright, I'm going to have you take a seat at the edge of this table, facing the closed blinds over that way. And remove your shirt.
Yes, sir.
Alright, Skyler, what was your segmental contact point?
My segmental contact point of the SIs was the medial aspect of the PSISs. Of the lumbar and thoracic spine, it was the midline of the spine. And of the cervicals, C2 through C7, it was articular pillars. And then when I got to the atlas, it was the lateral masses.
Alright, and what was your line of drive?
My line of drive, starting with the SIs, was medial of the lateral and P to A. The lumbar was straight P to A. The thoracics were P to A all the way through. However, at the lower thoracics, it was just P to A. As I worked my way up to the lower mid-thoracics, it was I to S. And then as I got towards the top, it was SI. The cervicals were P to A, and then as I worked my way, from the beginning they were SI, and then as I worked my way up, they were I to S.
Okay, and what was your idea of in-play?
My idea of in-play was a cheesy, spongy feel.
Okay, and did you find any restrictions?
I found no restrictions. Alright, for our next evaluation, we're going to be doing another assessment on your low back. If I could have you please lay it face down with your face right here for me.
Sure.
We are going to be taking a look at your right SI joint. Comfy?
Yep.
Alright.
Alright, Skyler, what was your segmental contact point?
My segmental contact point was the groove between the ilium and the sacrum for both flexion and extension.
Okay, and what was your line of drive?
My line of drive for flexion was contacting the ASIS and pulling it in an anterior to posterior direction. And in extension, it was anterior rotation of the ilium by lifting the leg.
Okay, and what was your assessment of in-play?
My assessment of in-play was anterior glide of the ilium in extension and posterior glide of the ilium in flexion. And upon evaluation, this is a healthy joint. Alright, now we're going to do another evaluation of your lower spine, your low back. If I could have you please take a seat on the bench right here, facing this direction.
Sure.
And if I could have you please give yourself a big hug. Alright, I'm going to have you just lean forward with me. And back up. Alright, now I'm going to rotate you towards me. I'm just going to pull you down, lean to the side. Alright. Have you rotate with me here. And again, lean down towards me.
Okay, Skyler, what was your segmental contact point?
Alright, my segmental contact point in flexion was the L2, L3 interspinous spaces. And rotation and lateral bending, I was on the right and left sides of the spinous processes of L2.
Okay, and what was your line of drive?
My line of drive was, for rotation and lateral bending, was lateral to medial, and also for lateral bending it was slightly I to S.
And what was your assessment of in play?
My assessment of end play was a spongy end feel.
Okay, and were there any restrictions?
I felt no restrictions with this patient. Alright, John, now we're going to be doing a further assessment of your mid-back. If I could please have you take a seat right here for me, facing the same direction. And I'm going to ask you to put your arm behind your back. Your left arm, please. Alright, go ahead and bring it back now. Bisect the midline. Down one. Alright, you would please give yourself a big hug for me. Alright, we're going to bend you forward and back. And I'm going to rotate you towards my knee. I'm going to have you lean to the side with me. Now rotate towards me here. Good. Get them down. Have you lean to the side. Very nice. Alright, so now we go. Rotate forward like this right here. Ask you to move back.
Okay, Skyler, what was your segmental contact point?
My segmental contact point was the T8, T9 vertebrae. For flexion is the interspinous space of the T8, T9 junction. For rotation and lateral bending is on the right and left sides of the spinous process. And when I was checking the costal angles, it was the right and left T8 rib.
Okay, and what was your line of drive?
My line of drive for rotation and lateral bending was lateral to medial, and slightly I to S for lateral bending to go along with that, lateral to medial. For the ribs, it was S to I for depression and I to S for elevation.
And what was your assessment of in play?
My assessment of end play was a spongy feel, good resilient joint, and upon evaluation I found no restrictions of this patient's T8, T9 junction.